Island Trucker. Just want to give a big shout out. Say a big thank you to everybody supporting the channel, man. This gonna be a video on greasing the fifth wheel. But before we get into it, if you're interested in running local, you're interested in doing finding out more about running food service, go check out RLC TV. Go over there, man. Subscribe to his channel, man. He got some good information telling you about running local, doing food service. But right now we're gonna get into it. You always want to keep your fifth wheel well greased. It'll keep the fifth wheel last a lot longer. When you don't grease the fifth wheel, the trailer put a lot of marks in the fifth wheel. You'll see a lot of indentation in the fifth wheel. Eventually going to damage the fifth wheel, so you're going to need a new fifth wheel. So you want to keep it greased as much as possible. Right now I have this tube. Sometimes you'll see people grease the fifth wheel with a grease gun. But if I have a tube of grease that's almost finished, I'll just use it to grease the fifth wheel like I'm doing right here. And don't depend on the truck stop to grease your fifth wheel, because a lot of times they don't grease it properly. As a matter of fact, your whole truck, when it comes to greasing your truck, it's probably better to do it yourself. Because some of your grease nipples, the truck stop not going to grease them. And I have another video I'm going to put up showing you the grease nipples. And I'm going to point out some nipples to you that the truck stop don't grease. Alright, now with the fifth wheel, once you put grease on the plate itself, there's some nipples on the side of the fifth wheel that you need to be greasing. You got two nipples on each. Well, on this fifth wheel, I have two nipples on each side. And that's what I'm greasing right now. And basically what you do is you pump grease into it. And once it start getting full, you'll see the grease coming out underneath the fifth wheel. And you could see it just by standing up. You don't have to really look under the fifth wheel to see it. Greasing your truck, man, is very simple, and it helps you to know your truck. I recommend greasing your truck at least once a month. And if you're running a lot of heavy loads, I recommend greasing it more often, probably every 2 weeks if possible. Also, I'll put a link in the description for the grease gun. I have the manual grease gun, and I have an earlier video, a drop, I think it was earlier this year, with a cordless grease gun. So if you're interested in buying that gun, I also have a link in the description for that cordless grease gun. And these are the other two nipples I was talking about. So you have two on the right and two on the left. And that's basically greasing your fifth wheel right there. Grease the nipples and grease the plate.